wins over the weekend. Over the week. There it is. For example, I have, if for those of you that are new and you're not quite sure, you're always welcome. Because, you know, a lot of times we just don't know what to post, right? And so you're always welcome to go ahead and, I also, if you guys aren't friends with me on Facebook yet, please do that. I love to share. I love to, you know, share my posts. I have one out there that's really getting a lot of engagement right now. And part of posting on your Facebook page or your social media isn't necessarily always about posting the business. It's also about posting the sticker. It's also about engagement. So the way Facebook works is we need that engagement. So I did a fun post. And a lot of you guys know this. So the more people that engage with your Facebook page or your social media page, the more that people are going to see it, because that's just the way that works. Because it's like, oh, this is a popular post, and they want to share your popular post. So for, you know, especially, so what I try to do is at least once a week, I try to do an engagement post, and that really helps. So the one I did this week was Team Android versus Team Apple. That's a fun one. You know, and so, yeah, so if you guys are not friends with me, I'm so sorry. I didn't even introduce myself. I haven't spoken in a few weeks. So my name's Heather Fleener for the new people. I am over in Wisconsin. I'm a certified vet tech, and I've been in the industry for 20 years. Although I keep reminding people that you don't have to be a professional in this business, you know, first in order to succeed. So for those of you that are new, that are coming in, and you don't have that pet experience, that background, it's okay. One of our best earners, two of our best earners on Team Alliance, actually, Merge Alliance, are not from a pet background. So, and it'll be exciting because tonight, and I don't know who it is. I don't know who won, but we had a contest last month, and it's going to be announced tonight at the corporate meeting. So if you haven't attended a corporate meeting, or if it's every Thursday night, it's at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so it's 7 p.m. Central. And then if you're like Miss Steinish over in the West Coast area, that would be 6 p.m. Lots of fun. We will get to hear from Dr. Lance London, who is our CEO and the founder, the original founder, I should say, of Novetica. So that's it's really exciting. So, and rumor has it that somebody on this call may or may not be on, you know, part of this winnings. And so it's always fun to see your team members win big money. And it's really exciting. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to launch my presentation this morning. I'm going to do things kind of different. A lot of times we talk about motivation. But what I find is one of the things that we as pet consultants, you know, need to know and need to have confidence about is our products, right? You know, that's one of those things that was like, well, I love the concept, like Mr. Brown always talks about ignorance on fire, which is amazing. It's like, you guys, I want you out there, you go out there and you say, oh, I got this amazing thing, you know, I got this amazing thing, I can help. You don't need to know exactly what it does with the ingredients, because you have a whole team behind you that can help you. So, but what I want to do is I want to give you a little bit of background, in a different kind of format. So what happens a lot of times here, I'm going to go ahead and launch my presentation, is that you're going to get, how to say this? Oh my goodness, it completely changed. All right, you guys don't want to see that, nor that. You want to see this, nor that. All right, guys, here we go. It should be, it's not going to work. Gosh darn it, I had it up for you. You can see all my fun stuff. I'm sorry. Okay. If you know me, something always is going to go wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a little bit about the products. Okay, so a lot of times instead of we get our training on, okay, we have the calming support and this is what it does. We have the digestive support and this is what it does. Sorry. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a little bit differently. So most of the time you're going to see a client or a potential client of yours, and they're going to be talking about, or they're going to reach out to you regarding a certain problem, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually discuss several of the top issues that your clients or that your friends and your family members have with their pets and how you can address it that way. So what that means is what I want you guys to do in the chat, if you could, is name three things, guys, in the chat that you hear most often that pet parents are worried about. It could be anything, guys. And I want, so this way you know how to address them. So go ahead, put in the chat. Like, for example, around here right now, we're starting to get into thunderstorms. And so I'm starting to see people post on Facebook about thunderstorm anxiety and how horrible their pet's night was during the storm, that kind of thing. So I'm seeing shedding, car sickness, bad breath, allergies, chewing feet, heated car rides, itching. Yep. Fleas. Oh gosh, this nasty thing. Sickness, bad breath, hair loss, hot spots. Yep. I'm seeing a lot, guys. Oh, diarrhea, skin, breath, fleas. Senior dog issues. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, that is one I would love to go further into, Dr. Kroom. I would like, that's something that I've actually talked to Mr. Brown a little bit about having something, and I'll have to talk to you about it too as well. And all right. So as you guys are talking about that, I'm gonna go ahead. So as these questions are coming to you, I want you to remember, I don't want you to be afraid of them. Okay. Don't be afraid of these questions. What you can do, let's say you see somebody that's on Facebook and they're like, oh my gosh, my dog, does anybody have any recommendations for a dog that's itching? And you don't know what to do? Get a hold of one of us, get a hold of your upline, talk to me, contact me, okay? Because you are a professional pet consultant, right? Once you grasp that name and that title, things will change. And with that, it is about, educating yourself, which is why we're all here, right? This is why we're here. So what this means is, okay, is we need to also get to the root of the problem, because we're going to understand that there are some things, there's a lot of things that we just can't help. We just can't. But it doesn't mean that we can't give them advice or help them think things through, right? So, and so that's where we're going to go with this, because there's certain things that, record. I cannot record. Can somebody else record? And who said record? Oh, there it is. Mr. Henderson, Mr. T, I also have something like this sort of recorded as well, that I did with my team earlier this week. A little bit different. So I want you guys to grasp that. So your first step is when you see somebody talking about pet stuff, when you see somebody, you remember, you put that armor on and you are a professional pet consultant. Okay, and I'm going to give you those tools to feel a little bit more confident about this, okay? So one of the main things that I hear about, and I'm only discussing some of the main topics today because we don't have much time. So my dog's breath stinks, right? Or so we automatically, we know we have the dental products, which are amazing. We know this, but what a lot of people don't realize is that yes, the dog's breath stinks, but very rarely are they actually lifting up the lips of the mouth. You know what I mean? So what I would like to do is what I want you to do. So to be a consultant, we need to work with that pet parent, right? So yes, the easy thing to say would be, excuse me, gosh, I've got this amazing dental system, blah, blah, here you go. You know what I mean? That's where things come off too salesy, right? So we want to work with them and give them a little bit of more interaction with them, makes them feel like you care more. Okay, so even if you're having a bad day and you don't care, I'll be honest, guys, I get this happens, we're humans, but we still need to stop, take a break. So what I do is I ask them, say, oh my gosh, have you taken a peek in that mouth lately? So that also gives them that visual, right? Most people, how many of you take a peek in your pet's mouths? Even your kitty's mouths? Put a 1 in the chat if you've looked in your pet's mouth in the last 6 months. Like really looked in your pet's mouth.
Not at all.
So go ahead, take a look in that mouth. Okay. And so some of the things I think about right away is I want to know what breed the dog is, the size. If it's a small breed, right away I know, oh yeah, this dog needs dental stuff automatically. That needs probably the whole system if it's a small breed dog, because small breed dogs have those little bitty mouths, right? Those little bitty mouths, and bacteria loves warm, wet places. Okay, and if they are anything, so imagine if you didn't brush if you didn't brush your teeth every day, much less for 8 years. Seriously, imagine that. 8 years you haven't touched your teeth. That's pretty nasty, isn't it? So what that is so that bacteria and the waste and all that stuff and those little small breed dogs with its little teeth, it just keeps recreating, growing, and all that. I won't show that. I'm not showing that picture, Dr. Krill. For those of you that don't know what picture I'm not going to show it. It's a picture of actually a human that did. If you want to see that picture, you guys can get a hold of me. It's pretty nasty. I don't think it's on next, but and so what we know is these little breed dogs, regardless of what's going on, need a good dental, right, or good dental product. So think of it this way too: the importance of dental care, especially in small breed dogs, is so very important. How many of you know somebody? Put a 2 in the chat, please. If you know somebody that before a human, before they go to the dentist, they have to be put on antibiotics before they go in for any dental work. Did you guys? And if you didn't, so that is a real thing. So many people have to be put on, especially if they have heart issues, have to be put on an antibiotic prior to going to the dentist. The reason for this is because the gums, you know how the gums bleed so easily, it's a direct line, right? So it's bleeding. You've got that bacteria in there. And in humans, we have a lot cleaner mouths, right? But the bacteria in there is a direct line to the heart. It can work its way right to the heart through the bloodstream. So that's why. Now imagine if that was your mouth, this dog was your mouth. So that's why dogs can have heart problems, kidney issues, liver issues, serious issues if we don't help take care of their teeth. Okay, so that's very important, why we need to take care of little dog's teeth. I recommend the whole entire system. The dental system, you got the little small treats, right? And you have the large treats. There's so many, and of course the mouthwash. I will often run specials that I'll say if you buy especially for these little breeds, because it's so important, the dental treats. And Miss Griffiths did a good comparison for me on this the other day, and I really like it. So we know that the dental chews are like a toothbrush, right? And then think of the dental treats as kind of like the toothpaste. That's what has all those goodies. Everything will have goodies in it, but the dental treats has so much more goodies in it. So much more goodies in it. And then, of course, you have the mouthwash, which is the mouthwash. So, there's so many benefits to this, but so for me, being educated on how important it is and why this dog needs, especially this dog, these little ones, and I saw somebody up there that has a Yorkie Laps. Yes, Miss White. And it's just crucial. So that helps solve that problem, okay? And there are so many more benefits to our products as well, which is in your handbook. So if you guys don't have your training manual, yet, it will list more things, and especially that spirulina that's in it is superfood. There's so many benefits that's being shown in the human side of things that spirulina is something that I'm going to look into myself because it has so many amazing benefits to it. And I could go on and on and on. There's so much goodness to our dental products, but this is going to help solve that problem, right? Because we're about solutions here. Okay, the next one. See, I didn't show it, Dr. Chrome. I had my fingers crossed. I was hoping I went to swipe it and have that picture on it. So, all right, the next thing you're often going to hear is about anxieties. My dog has anxiety to everything. Thunderstorms, hates going to the groomer, hates going to the veterinarian, hates car rides. You know, there's so many little things in there. And Miss Griffiths and I were another thing on one of my team meetings or the week that she informed me, and I had to, because I'm a dork, so I had to go, look it up and learn more about it, is something even about that I didn't know about L-tryptophan, which is the key ingredient in our calming support. Okay. For those of you, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. I gotta hurry. And as I'm talking about this stuff, guys, remember we have 2 different pages you can pull testimonials from, because that's what sells, right? That's what sells to people. So when you have people that are asking about certain issues, make sure you get them on there's the product success page, and there's also a I think it's an Medica product testimonial page. And so you can actually get them invited to that, and you can tag them in certain testimonials that are directly related to the issue they're having, because that's what's going to sell them, right? So what we have for all of this, where I was going with this. So L-tryptophan, which is that main ingredient, part of the reason why it works. So L-tryptophan is that ingredient that's in turkey. And if you've eaten too much turkey, which I think we all do, I take that back. We have a few vegetarians on the line. But it is what makes you relax. It just gives you that feeling of relaxation, and so that's one of our key ingredients, and that's why it works so well. What's neat about our calming support is the one product we have that you're going to see results. It's like instant gratification. So this is one of the products that I love to give samples out for, because the client's going to see results within 25 minutes, dramatic results. So I love giving away calming support treats, because that's probably, for me, that's probably one of my best sellers because of that. So what happens is you give you give the chewies 25 to 30 minutes later, or you give it before you need it. That's the other key. You want to give it. So if you know there's a storm coming, you need to give it. If you're going to go for a car ride, you need to give it 25 minutes before. So you want to be prepared before your client's dog has worked up itself so much that's already in that anxiety state. So what's cool about this, and Ms. Griffiths, like I said, we're on a meeting, and she's having great results with dogs that have slight aggression issues as well, or any actually aggression issues. Now, this is something that I want you guys to remember, that doesn't mean that we can solve everything. Nothing takes the place of a good trainer. Okay. So, I don't want you guys to say, your dog has bit 5 people. Here, take my calming support. Make sense? That's a serious, serious thing. And at that point, they need to be looking also. I mean, yes, our calming support can help and our products can help, but sometimes they're going to need, and Dr. Kroom can relate to this, they need the help of an expert. So what the L-tryptophan does is it helps with the serotonin levels in the brain. So what it's doing is it's almost acting like it just helps. So by giving it 2 to 3 times daily, repeatedly, like as a sort of, I don't want to use the term medication, but that's what I'm going to kind of say. But if you do it regularly, consistently, it's helping those dogs to relax, and it's training their brain how to properly react in certain situations. So they won't get themselves necessarily worked up into that anxiety, because most of the time when you have bite instances or aggression, most of the time it's a fear-related thing. Believe it or not, it's a dog that, has that fight or fight, they don't know what to do next. And so they get all this energy just kind of, so by trying to bring that energy down is going to help dramatically. But what I want you guys to remember is our job to ask more questions. Does that make sense? So it's not just, hey, here, take the common support, it works. Let's try to figure out what's going, and it, in work, you can always reach out to me, guys. I love talking concept. Well, yes, thank you, Mr. T. You can always reach out to me. Please do. Please do. And that one thing you'll learn, especially the new people, about Team of Birds Alliance, because we really are a team, and we really are about being successful for everybody. Like, we succeed when we succeed. Does that make sense? So, okay, so I'm going to try to hurry here, guys. So another thing you're going to hear a lot about is my dog is stiff and sore. But I also want to include in this, because you're also going to find that a lot of, okay, so when the dog is stiff and sore, the first thing I think of is, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I also did mention that when you talk about anxiety issues as well, we also have the CBD oil. So there's two routes you can go with anxiety issues, or combined. So you have the calming support, and we also have our CBD oils. So that works wonders in humans. It's been shown to work absolutely amazing. And it's something to remember as well, is when you're talking to people about our CBD oil and their client or their pets, we have to remember, just because the way it's silly, but the Federal Trade Commission is very regulates what supplement companies say. And so we just have to make sure to say stuff like with the CBD oil that, well, in humans, it's been shown to do this. So we can assume it does this in dogs. We can't say, well, in dogs, it does this. For cats, it does this. Just always put in there, in humans, it's been shown to help with this. So, and we can go into further detail about that in a different call. Anyways, okay, so a lot of times with, you're going to hear, oh, my dog is so stiff and sore. It's just, it groans when it gets up, it's whining when it's on the ground. And we have the two main products I think of with this. Actually, there's three, because this is a whole nother ballgame, and this is where pet consulting comes to play, right? One, want to know what breed? What breed is your dog? How old is your dog? If it's a breed that is already, we know, is going to have issues, is predisposition to it, Labrador Retrievers, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, even small, like little English Bulldogs. I guess they're not, those little and Frenchies. They're going to be predispositioned to having joint issues. So if that dog is a puppy, bam, you know that dog is already predispositioned to have issues. Bam, that's your in. You say, hey, I don't want Fluffy to get, well, I don't know if Fluffy would have your Rottweiler name, but have any issues, and then you can approach on that, right? So we also have the hip and joint is the one that I think about, and I've done a lot of comparisons. Again, I'm trying to hurry through this stuff, guys, but I have some great testimonials I would love to share with you guys about hip and joint supplements. If you're interested, I will definitely reach out to me. I can tell you about it. It usually always works. It's actually they're pretty amazing. So we also have the CBD oil, which is amazing. I always want them on a multivitamin as well, because one thing that we know as Leviticans is that the way we know that even with us guys as humans, we were not meant to eat processed food. We just weren't. We weren't, pets weren't. And so their bodies are not designed properly and don't have the proper enzymes to be breaking all this stuff down properly. And so our multivitamin is going to help them make sure they have the proper nutrients that they need to get. So if, so they might need those nutrients to make something else work. Anyways, okay, I'm just going on. Okay, so hip and joint, amazing. It has that pernican oliculus, which is such a key ingredient, and I can't wait to see as time goes on the studies that come out on this. It's just we get it all the way from New Zealand. That says a lot. That speaks volumes to me. So that's one of the key ingredients. It's also compared to other things, other competitors out there. Ours is actually that Yummy Chewy. Our competitors are normally capsules or tablets, chocolate tablets. They're not edible. They're nasty. And so, and of course, we know that the CBD oil has a lot of discomfort relief in that as well. So there's lots of things that we can do with stiffness and soreness. But again, there's things I want to know. Is your dog overweight? You know, is it, how old is it? There's little things that, so by asking these questions, rather than just giving them the link to the hip and joint will help. Because not only that, we can say, okay, well, you know, Fluffy is, you know, a 10-year-old or 12-year-old golden retriever that has hip dysplasia. Well, the hip and joint is going to help. Sure, isn't going to hurt, but I think that dog would also really benefit from that speed. So there's, you know, by asking these questions, we can whittle things away and kind of work a little bit. Oh my gosh, because I'm taking so long. Okay, so my dog is scratching and has allergies, and this goes right into play where I saw a few of you saying fleas, right? Fleas is a very common problem of scratching and having allergies. A lot of dogs and cats have, I mean, a flea could just walk across them and it just throws them into like huge allergic craziness, which I'm sure Dr. Kroom can tell you. She probably sees a lot of cases of with her clinic. So a couple of things we have right away. Again, this is where being a professional pet consultant comes into play. So yes, we could say, oh, we have this, this, and this, but we still haven't really helped the problem, right? No, because not all allergies necessarily are going to be solved with our digestive support or our anti-itch or even, you know, or the whole hygiene. Excuse me, I'm taking. So for example, one of the first questions I ask is, when was the last time you saw a flea? Or what is your dog on a flea prevention? I like to know that it's a good, and then not only that, but the reason I asked them the last time they saw a flea was because if they've seen a flea within 4 months, that tells me that there's still fleas, you know, even if they saw a flea 3 months ago and they haven't seen one since, more than likely there's still fleas in that environment. So that's one of the reasons, because we have to make sure that problem is solved before we can, you know, and we can still move forward, right? We can still help, but that necessarily won't help. Well, I take that back. I digress on that one. Okay, so what do we have for scratches and allergies? So I want to know where they're scratching and itching, right? Just ask these questions. Even if it doesn't mean anything, just ask them these questions. I like to see pictures if there's a rash, or I actually like to see pictures of the skin as well. That tells me if there's dry skin. I always recommend a digestive support. Always. And the reason is because and you guys, a lot of you guys have heard this already. So the digestive support, you may have heard that you need a healthy gut, right? It goes in humans, pets need a healthy gut. Part of that issue is, like I mentioned, we weren't made to eat these processed foods. We need a different kind of diet. And because of that, and lots of other things, our flora and our guts are all just off whack, okay? So if that's happening at the gut level, your immune system is already like on alert, right? So if your immune system's already on alert, anything else that attaches, you know, that comes into the area is going to also create a worse reaction. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, can you put a 5 in the chat? So when you have, thank you. So we gotta help that digestive support, right? We gotta go right to the digestive support when it comes to itches and allergies. When I see, the other thing too is you're gonna want, and again, show caring. You want to be not just somebody to hear, you don't want to be that person that just here, take this, do this. You want to help solve this problem. Again, get a hold of me. So what you'll do is go ahead and, you know, ask them for the pictures. If the dog has skin irritation. So, okay, so not only scratching and itching, so actual skin irritations or the moistness, if the skin is moist, that's another one. Like in those skin irritations, if the skin is moist and has little yellow crusties on it, then you're looking at what's called a hot spot. So, thanks, Mr. Brown. So that's the actual term of a hot spot. That spreads rapidly and it needs rapid. Okay, so I'm kind of getting sidetracked here, guys. I want to give you all this information like right away, and it's coming off crazy. So, okay, digestive support. Get the dog on digestive support. That's going to help with the ears. If you have a dog, you know, often that happens with the ears. A lot of times too, when dog has ear issues, even if the owner doesn't know about it, you're going to see that them licking the paws, right? Their paws. It could be all four paws. It could be one paw. It could be a lot of times that is because, and this is something that will wow them if you tell them this, could be because of the transfer from the yeast to the ears. So they scratch their ears. See those pictures in those two, that golden retriever and the other one? They're scratching their ears. When they scratch their ears and there's yeast in there because the digestive system is out of whack, then it's going to transfer and then they're going to lick and then it's going to create that, remember how I mentioned earlier with the mouth? Bacteria loves warm, wet places. Okay. So digestive support is needed because it also helps to control not only the bacteria and the yeasties in the body, but also on the skin level, which is also in the ears. So that's part of it. Like, for example, I don't have to clean my golden retriever's ears anymore. I have 5 of them, guys, because of the digestive support. So if somebody's talking ears, bam, get them on the digestive support. Bam, bam, bam. Seriously, huge. Okay. Flea allergies. Yes, they definitely need to, if the skin is going kind of crazy, like has a lot of moistness in it, I would definitely give them digestive support as well. Any itching and scratching really needs to be on digestive support, but we still want to be that pet consultant to figure out why they're doing it. I always ask, what kind of food are you on? Okay. If the food has any dyes in it, if it's pretty, if the food looks pretty, we probably want to get them off there. Because those dyes are pretty crazy. Most people, and I'll be honest, I would love to be able to feed the raw and, that kind of stuff, but I can't. I have 9 dogs. I have to feed kibble. So that's something else I ask too. These little tidbits are going to go a long way to help you be more confident. And again, if you're struggling, we're here to help. Let's see, what else do we talk? Allergies. Oh my gosh, I know I'm missing tons of stuff. Oh, so also, we have the digestive support, but when that skin is irritated, okay, so digestive support is going to help from the inside out, where I think of that skin and coat. The skin and coat is great, but that is what's going to put the skin in a condition to heal. So that skin and coat, think of how things look. Does that make sense? That's going to help improve the appearance. Okay. And so when you're talking about allergies, again, I could go on and on and on, and I would love to regarding more things about the skin and coat, but when we're talking about allergies, plus it has those omegas in it, it puts the skin in the best condition to heal. Does that help? Does that make sense? So the digestive support helps the solution, where the skin and coat, I feel, helps make things look better. I don't want to, it's definitely beneficial, but does that make more sense, guys, when you're kind of trying to think how to explain it to people? So that is where I go with that. Now, there's also the anti-itch, which I love with hot spots. So there's a couple things. Now, remember what I said, when a hot spot has that bacteria, right? Those crusties, when you see those crusties, that's the bacteria. That's bacteria needs to be dry. It needs to be dry. If we put a moisturizing thing on it, it's going to make the bacteria happy and make it okay. So what I tell people when they have those hot spots is if they can shave that hair away, not with a razor, I'm talking like electric, get that hair away, because it's going to allow that area to breathe. Okay, so that's crucial. They need to be able to breathe. I personally, and I know Dr. Kroom might have some better ideas here, but I love utilizing the anti-itch on those spots, and also it has that tea tree oil, and it's an anti-inflammatory, and hot spots itch. They itch. It's that bacteria. It's like and of course the no rinse is very good on those spots as well, because it has that lavender oil. I prefer, though, just because it seems to dry it a little better, I prefer the tea tree oil or the anti-itch on those. So you also want to make sure, though, that the pets are not itching or licking those spots anymore because of the tea tree oil and ingesting it. But that's where I would go with that. Oh my gosh, I am taking so much time up, guys. Okay, so here's this one will be fast. You're gonna hear this, and you guys see who that is? Just tell me what this dog's name is in this picture, if you know this dog's name. And the Browns are not allowed to answer this question. What's this dog's name in the picture? Yeah, yes, it's great. It's Minion. So I picked Minion because Minion's a puppy. So you're gonna have, my. Oh, thank you, Mr. Chief. So you're gonna hear all the time my pet peeves all over the place. Our first thing is we want to. Oh, here's one away. But let's be a pet consultant and let's help that. Because some things, puppies, we kind of understand that, they're going to pee all over the place and, we can direct them into some, there's great videos out there. Zach George is a wonderful person on YouTube he's a trainer, but he explains things. He can explain things to a kindergartner and make them understand it. So it's pretty cool. Oh, thanks, Dr. Kuhn. So what we're going to do, so as a pet consultant, it's not so simple because most of the time, the first thing I ask, the first thing I want to know is if that pet has had a proper exam and that a UTI, which is called a urinary tract infection, has been ruled out. That's the first thing I want to, unless it's a puppy. I mean, sometimes puppies can have them too, I'll be honest, but that's the first thing I want to know because it's not just about helping them solve the stain on the carpet, right? It's not about that. It's about helping this pet as well. So I want to know if that's been done. Then you would be shocked, and many of you on here may not know this, but I bet we see three or four urinary tract infections per day on animals come in. They're very common, guys. Very, very, very common. That needs to be ruled out before behavior is ever. Of course, is your pet fixed? That's the next one. Oh, we know. Sorry, guys. So I want to know if the pet is fixed. That's another one, and that can be very touchy. So we have to be careful with that as well. So these are the little things that I want to know, and then before I just automatically just hand them the wet away. Make sense? So that one I'm not going to go into further detail about, but and here's kind of a trick question, guys. Is that you're going to hear there's nothing wrong with my pet, right? But your answer for that is yes, right? Yes, there's nothing wrong with your pet yet. We know that something is going to be wrong with their pet. Why wait till it's already too late? And so that's where being a pet consultant, a fresh pet consultant is huge, is by researching the breeds, the ages. We also, some of my team members and I are taking a canine nutrition course. It's just online, and it's $36. So if anybody's interested in that code to get that class, that would be great. Where they actually, they talk about some issues that are related to diet as well, and it's actually a pretty good course. I would love to share that with you guys, and that would be great. So, just being a professional pet consultant is so huge because we are here the bottom line is we are here to help the pet and not necessarily just make the sale. So if you guys got any value from this today, let's go with the number 20. I feel like number 20 today. That's because that's my son's baseball number. So great. So, and Mr. Henderson, how are you feeling today? Are you able to take us out today? You've been giving us everything you've got lately.
Oh man, awesome job. I'm gonna contact you later because I don't know if you have like a list of the top 5 things to ask, before recommending one of our products, So go ahead. Yes, go ahead, man.
Okay. So Ms. Griffiths and my team and I were talking about too is actually getting, yes, of course, going through the pet consultant is great. The actual assessment with them is wonderful, but actually getting, like you said, a yes and no, like a flow sheet going. So that way, when, you're sitting there, you don't necessarily have to go back. You can do this and kind of go from there to see if that will help. So it can be actual printout as well.
Please let us know when that happens. Because okay. As you were going through, and I was trying to type like you're good. You was trying to rush and make it a certain time. I was like you're good, because it's just like so much. It all makes sense. Because otherwise, if you're just talking about the products and product benefits, you come out salesy. But we are pet consultants. You know, and I know, Mr. Brown tell you, we chose that name, rather than distributor and whatever, specifically because the mission is education, right? Because Dr. London, he was like, okay, when he found out after he took his dog, you all know the story. He's like, if I didn't know this, what about all the other pet parents that didn't know this? So therefore, we are about education. So that's why I was like, wow, this is a whole bunch of stuff. So when you all put that together, that little, I guess I would say, cheat sheet, for lack of a better word right now, we can, you all can come up with some, catchy name for it. Definitely share it, okay? Because that's what I was going to ask him. Like, just 5 things, maybe, each question, because the whole Wedaway thing, I was like, all just about, hey, look at it, look, watch the reaction and get people's reaction to it. But, going deeper, to is there any kind of urinary thing? I mean, that's awesome. So, super. I mean, great job, man. Really great job. Thank you. So, yeah, I always find it a pure joy to be able to be on the call, period. I just want you to know that, period. I find it great joy to be on the call, period. But I find it even more joy, when I get to hear from other people and learn from their perspective, okay? I get even more joy. But I get the most joy when I'm able to intercess, when I'm able to connect with you all and then connect with Source and connect with God together. So that's my greatest joy. Okay, that's my greatest joy. So yes, absolutely, absolutely. So without any further ado, anything, let's just all come together and connect, because I've been talking about this mind. What I want you to understand, there's a collective consciousness. There's a collective consciousness. So that's something that really, allows us. Yes, we're going to experience good and bad, but what keeps the world going on, what keeps the world spinning, is our collective consciousness. Okay, what's going to make this business thrive is going to be our collective consciousness. If that makes sense. So let's just, let's all relax. Okay, I'll relax, and I want us to just become this great collective consciousness as we go to Source. Okay, as we go to Source, we connect with Source. So all hearts and minds clear. That's why I say that. All hearts and minds are clear. Father, we give you all the glory. We give you all the praise. We thank you for who you are and for who you are in our lives and the lives of your people. We thank you, God, that you already foreknew what you had in store. You had already predestined our destiny. Even when it comes to connecting us here on this call, connecting us with this great opportunity, Rebecca, your pet's choice. We thank you. Nothing has ever escaped you because you are omnipotent, right? You're omniscient. You're multi-spatial and multifaceted. So God, we thank you just for your completeness. We thank you for not only this vision, but the visionary Dr. Lance London. We thank you, God, that you molded and shaped him after your own heart. And we thank you for surrounding him with a collective, surrounding him with great people, surrounding him with the mastermind minds, especially our upline founder. And I thank you for every soul and individual, because we know that without individuality, this world would be super boring. And so we thank you for the individual that you created in Miss Heather Fleet. Father, may she grow comfortable in being who you created her to be. We thank you for her presentation today. We thank you for the knowledge and wisdom that she shared for us. May you pour back into her as she poured out to us. And I thank you for every soul that's on this call, every household represented. Continue to come out to life like a lion, because I know that you did not create us to operate in life. So God, we thank you right now for who you are. We give you all the glory, all the praise, and we do it in the name of your son, Yeshua. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Everybody.